Tesla releases its first quarterly safety report, Gigafactory 3 construction may be accelerating, the police get a Model 3 lesson, and, oh yeah, software version 9 is rolling out. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 457 for October 5th, 2018. We're starting things off today with a promise that Elon made back during the Q1 earnings call about disseminating safety statistics related to Autopilot. Today, Tesla released their first quarterly safety report. Firstly, this wasn't just an Autopilot report, it was more of a general safety report. Autopilot info was included, but so was non-Autopilot. And on top of this, they had to build the system to make this happen. From the news release, quote, "Earlier this year, when we made the decision to begin publishing our safety data on a regular basis, we designed and introduced a completely new telemetry stream for our vehicles to facilitate these reports. This new data stream allows us to gather the most critical fleet-wide statistics from the exact moment a crash-related event is detected by our system. While there are still some unique cases in which crash data may not be available to us through this channel, we believe this system currently provides the best framework for safety reporting on an ongoing basis," end quote. So that might explain why it took so long to get to us. Another bit about that system is that it not only detects crashes, but also what Tesla calls a crash-like event. These events aren't actual crashes, but still incidents where there was a near miss. To me, worrying about even near misses signals yet again Tesla's obsessive nature over safety. Here's what they found in their first ever public safety report. While Autopilot was engaged, Tesla registered one accident or crash-like event per 3.34 million miles in Q3. Without Autopilot, Tesla registered one accident or crash-like event per 1.92 million miles in Q3. By comparison, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's latest numbers show an accident for every 492,000 miles for the general public in the U.S. With these stats, Tesla drivers with Autopilot engaged are not quite 7 times as safe as every other driver on the road. Even Tesla drivers without Autopilot engaged are still nearly 4 times safer than other drivers on the road. Amazing statistics, Tesla team. Glad to see yet again I'm driving one of the safest cars on the road. We check out our friends at Teslarati for our next story, where we have some news about the newest Gigafactory. With the current trade situation getting contentious with China, and with tariff concerns looming for many companies, foreign and domestic, Tesla has an uphill battle to fight with tariffs of 40% now being levied on its vehicles in China. Add on top of that incentives for buying local, and Tesla says it operates by as much as a 55 to 60% disadvantage against vehicles produced in China. Tesla has decided, and mentioned in its latest production and delivery report, that the construction of Gigafactory 3 would be accelerated in an attempt to not only address tariff issues, but also make the company more efficient so that it doesn't have to ship cars an insane distance to reach the #1 EV market in the world. Tesla claimed when announcing the factory that it believed that it could start production in 2 years from breaking ground, which to say the least already seems to be quite the aggressive time frame. We'll keep an eye out for the latest on the newest Gigafactory. We stop in the comedy department for the first time in a while over at Inside EVs, where a Model 3 driver got a surprising interaction with the police. The driver was pulled over because the officer thought he had a laptop mounted to his dash. Obviously, we know better. After some explaining, the officer owned and apologized for his error and walked away more knowledgeable for the incident. Quite nice to see him own his error and move on. Definitely check out the video for a good chuckle. We end the week with bonus coverage since I recorded this show Friday morning rather than Thursday night. Elon tweeted out while I was sawing some logs that V9 release is official, albeit minus one of its flagship features. Quote, "V9 moving to wide release now, holding back Autopilot drive-on navigation for a few more weeks of validation. Extremely difficult to achieve a general solution for self-driving that works well everywhere," end quote. While it's disappointing for AP2 owners to have to wait a bit longer for EAP to be meaningful compared to original Autopilot, I'm sure everyone is completely understanding, as we'd certainly rather have it be safe as opposed to just throwing it out into the world. Looking forward to the new goodies. Keep it tuned to Twitter to see when I get the update myself. One last word of note, seeing as branding in the podcasting space is kind of a thing, I thought I'd let you know that I've opened an Instagram account for the show so I can keep a nice collection of pictures in my travels for all things Tesla. There's not much there right now, but feel free to give it a follow. The handle is, of course, Tesla Tidbits. Check out the links to the full stories in the show description. While you're at it, please consider supporting the show financially through Patreon at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. Thanks as always to our super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are John Waltower, Drew Schuyler, John Waller, Mark and Sarah Thomas, Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dory and Steve Guberman, Bruno Quindici, Joey Boots, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Adam Raymer Brown, Megawatt Photovoltaic Development, Todd Sullivan, Robert Healy, Mitch Long, Zortec LED Canada, Morvan Og, Blake Thompson, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T Sportline, Michael Pastroni, and Travis and Cheyenne Rush. If you're looking to purchase a Model S, Model X, or Model 3 Performance, you can enjoy a $100 supercharging credit and hook me up with some Tesla swag if you use the referral link ts.la/Jim50888 to purchase your vehicle. If you can't support with dollars, that's quite all right. Feel free to leave a positive review for the show instead. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use that Ask Tesla Tidbits hashtag if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. I'll see everyone back here again next week on Monday. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.